Did you see the results of the NXT program, the big show that NXT did on Saturday that almost nobody talked about or gave two about? Remember when everybody was talking about the NXT shows and how great the main events were and they were all interested? Remember when the NXT television program against AEW was doing more viewers than it is now unopposed? Remember, Pepperidge Farm remembers. What'd you think about the big show on Saturday from NXT, Brian?
I heard nothing about it, and I was actually going to ask you before, other than Braun Breaker, is there anyone on NXT that's ready to be brought up and they could try something, a Hail Mary right now to see what's happening, but I don't know anything about what was on the show.
I think Mary would throw it back at him. I just want to read you the results. I didn't watch any of the matches, and you'll know why when I read you the results. Whatever they've done with NXT ain't working. And they ain't getting a younger audience. They ain't getting any audience. And this was the big show that nobody talked about. The opening match was a 6-man tag where the losing team had to join the winning team's faction. Because they got the Hispanic gang fighting with the Italian gang. You remember, well, you're from the Northeast. You remember when the Hispanics and the Italians had an all-out street war, right?
Yeah, it was called the West Side Story. It was a major, major hit on Broadway and, of course, in cinema.
Yes, right about the time Vince was 20 years old. So Tony D'Angelo and Channing Lorenzo and Troy Donovan defeated Legado di Fantasma. Those folks. Troy Donovan, I thought he actually, wasn't he the male lead in the Gidget movies with Sally Field, or was it Tuesday Weld?
That's Troy Donahue.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, Tuesday Weld, a nice pull there. Very popular for a time.
Nice pull. It was more like a little wank, but nevertheless. So then...
Wait, so the Legado del Fantasma guys had to join the phony mafia guys?
Apparently, that was the stipulation. So now the Mexican cartel is in the Italian mafia.
Interesting.
Over at NXT.
Over at NXT.
Yeah. Interesting is one word that was not applied to this program. Also, for the Women's Tag Team Championship, Toxic Attraction defeated Caden Carter and Katana Chance. They didn't have a chance. The North American title changed hands, from what I understand. Carmelo Hayes defeated Cameron Grimes. So you got Carmelo versus Cameron. I'm surprised Vince didn't make one of them wear a pink T-shirt, tell them apart.
They got to get that guy out of there. Either get his release or something. But Cameron Grimes is being wasted completely.
You know what? He'd work in AEW.
He would be really good in AEW, I bet. He'd probably do a lot of stupid shit that would annoy us because he would have no agents or producers that will stop him. But he would probably be really entertaining and have some good stuff, too.
For the Women's Championship, they only had 5 title matches on this show, Brian, because NXT is only the developmental brand, so they don't really have a lot of titles, just 5 of them. Women's title, Mandy Rose defeated Wendy Chu. She's the one that takes naps. She wrestles in pajamas and goes to sleep in the middle of the ring in the match. For the NXT Tag Team title, the Creed brothers defeated Pretty Deadly. And finally, for the NXT Championship, Braun Breaker defeated Joe Gacy. The stipulation was that if Breaker was disqualified, he would win or he would lose the NXT title. And so he beat Gacy 1, 2, 3 and was not disqualified. And if anybody can tell me what the fuck Joe Gacy even is. What is his point? What is he saying? What does he mean? He's a pudgy indie guy, and I don't see how that making him competitive with Braun Breaker is going to do anything for their bottom line of their company, since Braun Breaker will be their champion in 3 years. But that was the big show from NXT. I don't think they call them TakeOver anymore. They're calling them In Your House now, as a matter of fact, which is, what's that old saying about garbage and house guests? They both stink when they get old.
Well, sounds like we are missing nothing with NXT.
That's what I thought.